Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Charjabug in the Great League Remix Cup, and this Pokemon is absolutely amazing because of a little bit of a move change tweak maybe. We're going to run Crunch on this Pokemon. Where's the difference here? Basically, Discharge is not needed most of the time. Like, Exa is in any neutral scenario the better move to go for, so Discharge is kind of just there for flying type Pokemon. There are some of them, but we use Charjabug as a safe swap anyway. They will never really stay in there, and even then Crunch and Volt Switch is going to be doing enough damage. So, why do we want to have Crunch on this Pokemon? For, of course, all the Ghost-type Pokemon and all of the Psychic-type Pokemon that are currently running around, and there are a lot of them. We have Grumpig, we have Corsta, we're going to have the Dusclops, Dusknoir, we have a ton of them, we have Drifblim, of course Drifblim you have been able to hit with the Discharge as well, but let me tell you, there are quite a lot of targets for Crunch in the current meta, or like Dark-type coverage moves basically, and yeah, this is why I want to try this Pokemon out. I hinted towards this one before as well, where I said, this might be a cool Pokemon to run, and trust me, it is a cool Pokemon to run. It's honestly a very, very strong Pokemon. And I feel like maybe this showcase here today is not going to really be, I don't know, showing everything that this Pokemon could do. Well, I guess you don't actually need the Crunch for other Psychic-type Pokemon, because you also have Exa with that one. So I take this one back, just realizing this. Still, Charjabug is very, very cool, and I do think that Crunch has a lot of potential. I felt like I wasn't in a lot of scenarios where I would have needed this move, though. Like, that's the thing as well. I didn't really have scenarios where I really needed Discharge either, but I was expecting more Ghost types to swap into my Charjabug, because in theory, Ghost types would be able to resist the Bug type moves of us, so they would resist our strongest, hardest hitting move here. But they didn't really want to swap into us. I don't know really why, but still, we had a lot of great fun with this team. This team was absolutely amazing. It worked out super well for me. I can tell you this. Yeah, we had an elite here as well, a Pokemon that was supposed to counter kinda the Ghost types by being normal type. Of course, our fast move was also resisted with that. But here we're kinda getting a hard vault in this second battle here. There's not a lot that I can do about it. A lot of Dragonite, and all the Dragonites disappeared again afterwards. Like, the last, I don't know, 10 sets that I did, like this was kind of more early on where I did those builds, they all didn't have a single Dragonite in it. But yeah, I felt like I got a lot of times very interesting, weird teams that you would mostly not really see that much. This team is really designed to counter the current meta, and not really designed to counter Pelipper. Of course, an Elite is a bit annoying, but we would have had, of course, also our Charjabug to still knock this one out. But as I decide to go for a shield there against us, and as I decide to stay in here for like this long, I was wondering if they're going to be very weak to Charm. And I was right, they were very weak to Charm here apparently. And they don't even go straight for their own charge move, which is interesting. I could swap out if I really wanted to into my Charjabug, but if they have a Pangoro in the back, which I'm predicting at this point, we're still going to be fine. It is a Pangoro with our Charjabug anyway, as we are going to be able to resist the hard-hitting moves. They have to go for the Night Sash spam, which is not going to do enough for them, as we will see here as well. Unless they're going to get the boost, which they don't do here. We're going to be able to survive 2 of them, and we can win the battle anyway. So good game to the opponent. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, Charjabug's resistance here is really cool in the current meta. Like, Charjabug kinda is so good against nearly everything right now. Here, I could have stopped out a bit faster into my Dexbun, but Swampert honestly is a bit of an issue in this cup. Swampert is very, very strong. They go for the sludge here, doesn't really matter to me. I just gonna shield and farm down at this point. At least I can realign myself. I still have 2 good answers against the opponent's Toxapex. But Swampert is definitely on my list of Pokemon that I want to showcase still, because I think it is a great Pokemon to run currently. There are a lot of targets for Swampert as well. Charjabug is one of them, for example, but with a lot of like fairy-type Pokemon still around, it's a very cool Pokemon to run. Here I decided to swap out into my Charjabug. I don't know how they got the free fast move in here, to be fair, but it is what it is. We're gonna be able to go for 1 Exa, and their play is to go for the Night Sash, boost, and then go for Hydro Cannon. They go straight for the Hydro Cannon, doesn't really matter though to us then. But if they're gonna get the Night Sash boost here, it might be a bit of a problem. They do, of course, and we are going to be forced to go for a charge move here. Can we still knock them out in time? We're going to get the shield from the opponent. Luckily, we still survive here, and with that, we win the battle. The opponent knows that, they forfeit, and we can move on to the next opponent. Okay, this is going to be a bit of an awkward one, but we're going to see the swap out now into the Amongus. So we're still going to have our Exa for this Pokemon, and in theory, I don't know, like, I feel like, I give the opponent a lot of time free energy here today, even though I felt like my timing wasn't bad there. But I guess just because on the way they swapped in, I was a bit off. But anyway, we're going to be able to try to play this one out. And we're going to see here one issue. Amongus resists the fast move, and if something resists the fast move, Charjabug kind of loses most of the, I don't know, potential it has. And as we're going to see here, of course, I misplay. I should have went for a charge move way earlier on. I still at least can keep the energy, but it's going to be an uphill battle, especially after seeing what they have in the back here. I go for the Fire Punch straight away. They have close combat, they would most likely just one-shot us with that. So I'd rather go for the guaranteed damage here than anything else. I'm going to see here that they're going to go for the close combat very likely. And yeah, we're going to be in a very tough spot. There's still one way of winning this battle though. If we're going to be able to, yeah, we can take the hit here. If we play it interestingly, and if we're going to be able to stay in here, play it out, then swap out, catch the move while going for the crunch here. Did it work? We got the crunch off? No, they just got the damage in afterwards. Yeah, I waited out like 1 or 2 turns there as well for the Hex to come through and then try to catch a Shadow Ball, winning CMP tie, getting rid of the energy while still getting their shield, but it didn't work out. To be fair, I don't even think that this play would have worked out even if it worked like I thought it could. But that's, yeah, okay. We gotta see here the Sand Sledge against us. That's cool for us. They're going to go into the Togetic. And yeah, here is one of the matchups where Discharge would have been absolutely amazing. But because we, kind of need to realign ourselves here, especially because we have the Sand Sledge already that we know that we don't want to have against the Darkspawn. We kind of need to have alignment here. Anything else doesn't really work out for us. We have Fire Punch still in our lead. We have a little bit of energy extra stored there as well, which is cool. But we need to keep alignment. And we can keep alignment while having a ton of energy, which is nice. But sadly, that energy is going to go to waste because there's no point of me shielding here. Fire Punch does way more damage, is way more important to get off. And they're going to swap out into the Tropius. That's cool by me. Like, they're basically catching the move onto a Pokemon where it's super effective against. So I'm happy about that one. Again, the team comp from the opponent is a bit interesting as well because they have already the double weakness to fire. But as you see here, Psychic Fangs is coming through. We are going to be able to let the move go through from the opponent as well. And I think they're going to no-tap now soon. No, they're actually not. They're just going to go for the farm down nearly. That's fine by us. We're going to get some damage in against them, which is cool. And now it's just down to if we can survive 2 Ice Punches without using a shield. They have Shadow Claw as a fast move, which is very important here. And yes, we can, which kind of means we win the battle. Like, there's nothing the opponent can do here anymore. They let the Fire Punch go through. Double super effective hit, yes, non-step, yes, they still survive, but we're going to have them in now quick attack range. And even if they would be able to get to another move here, they know that they would go down in time because this is not going to be enough to knock us out. They know that as well, they acknowledge that, they go for the Drill Run to mess, and we can move on to the next opponent. So, we saw the Dusknoir here. We see the Duggersby against Duggersby matchup now, and because we have 1 turn advantage here now, we hope that we get the Scorching Sand debuff before the opponent can get there. That would be really good for us. They don't get their Scorching Sand debuff as well. I made a big mistake here by over-farming. I should have just went straight for the move. Very silly actually, and honestly, quite impactful most likely. If this is going to get the debuff here, I would have taken way less damage. Let's see. We're not gonna get the debuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't actually need alignment here. I don't really need that. I am gonna go for the Fire Punch here. I will get alignment though. But I might actually just swap out here into my Charjabug to get a bit of an energy lead because I want to get to Crunch against the Ghost type. But yeah, they swap out into the Ghost type, which is cool. I have Crunch now for you. Are they going to call it? Are they not going to call it? Let's find out here. They decide to go for a shield, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. We can use a shield as well if I really wanted to, but I don't. I survive with Shadow Punch anyway. I still get to the Crunch, I guess, in time, so that's fine. They only catch the move, though, onto their Moltres, which is absolutely fine because we have our Charmer still lurking in the back. We do get the defense drop onto them here with the Crunch, which is really important because now the Charms are just chunking too much. But still, they might get to a Brave Bird, and so we are forced to go for a shield. They go for the Brave Bird, get a DKO here now against the Moltres, and now it's down to us against the Dusknoir. I'm still gonna go for the Psychic Fangs, which is a bit of a risky play. But it's gonna get the shield. Maybe I can even go for a Fire Punch later on, but I don't even need to because this jump is going to knock them out, and the Dusknoir is gonna go down here. Next up, Claydol. Very new to matchup. I outspeed them here, and if I get the debuff, that's going to be great. They are going to take the Scorching Sand now, and as my backline, especially the Charjabug, doesn't want to face this Pokemon currently, I'm kind of happy with it, but we're going to see here the Ferret coming in. Here the thing is, we're going to be able to resist the fast move, which is cool, but it is still not a great matchup because yeah, we need to kind of keep alignment. And if we don't keep alignment here, we're going to be a bit of a difficult spot. But they let the move go through. I think I can still take a hit, but I think I'm actually going to let the move go through. That is a ballsy. Not too sure if we're going to be able to... Yeah, we should be able to just barely win this one, but I have to... Oh, I'm not going to shield. I guess I need to do it like this because of the Claydol. Let's see, they're going to go into their Thieval. I have to swap out of here. I am going to be able to go for those X's, but I have to basically have perfect timing the entire time. They go for Rock Tomb, of course, obvious. But we have to go for 2 fast moves here, go for the X's. Super effective hit, stab hit, please shield. They don't shield. That's actually more annoying because we still have the Thieval we have to deal with. And Thieval is going to be a bit more difficult now, especially in the scenario we're in currently. And I let the move go through, hoping that my Duggersby can win this battle for us. And we have to go for the full farm down here. But they're gonna go into their Thieval. They go for Night Slash here, guaranteed. But they might get the boost. They don't get the boost here, which is lucky. Can we get the debuff with our Scorching Sands? It's going to be such a difficult battle. We're going to get the shield from them. We can go for another Scorching Sands here as well, but I'm fairly certain they're going to be able to get to 2 Night Slashes very, very soon. We don't get the debuff again, which is really annoying. But somehow, we were able to see him Peter against the opponent. Yeah, I felt like they overfarmed by a little bit too much there. But maybe they were less perfect at 2 Night Slashes. I don't know. But we are going to be able to go for a charge move here. Fire Punch coming through, get the KO, and farm down the opponent's Claydol. So good game there. Duggersby coming in clutch. Toxapex against us. Again, a very good lead. They're going to swap out into their Ferret. We can swap out as well into our Darkspawn. Avoiding the matchup for later on. They're very likely going to have, though, Dark-type Pokemon in the back, I would assume, which is still going to be fine with our Charjabug. Charjabug is the core breaker for basically, yeah, Poison, Water, and the Dark-type, which we have quite a lot of times. So that's going to be really, really good for us. As you see here, the Psychic Fangs is coming through. We're going to be able to get the KO this time around as well. Of course, we had to use a shield, but we can go for the Psychic Fangs against the opponent. Drop the opponent's defense a tiny bit. I could have went into my Charjabug here, keeping my Darkspawn alive, but I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I just misclick here as well. I should have not swapped out. I think I would have lost no matter what, though. Maybe we can redeem ourselves in the next battle. I think the opponent most likely going to forfeit very soon here, because that is a hard wall, like literally. They have to go for a Play Rough here in order to do anything. They go for the Play Rough, and we can just farm them. They have no chance of getting to another Play Rough. And with that, we're going to be able to go for Psychic Fangs against the Tentacruel, doing a ton of damage. We could swap out here again as well. Okay, we can't. We're still locked into the matchup. But we do fast move damage with our Charjabug, and we do... Okay, we go into a Charjabug as well. And as we'll see here, they're gonna go for a charge move. I can use a shield. It's gonna be a Sludge Wave as far as I remember exactly. And we see them forfeiting. They're very likely had a Dark type in the back, which Charjabug would have been able to beat. And we're going to have 3 in a row, basically in terms of, yeah, Poison and Water type leads. That's kind of funny. We let the move go through against Greninja. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon. We should be able to farm down before they get to another move. And with that, we can go for another Psychic Fangs, drop the opponent's defense while being able to align ourselves, which is really cool. Here as well, keeping alignment is kind of nice. Doesn't really matter at this case anymore because we have 2 good answers. But here I go into my Duggersby. Even though Brine is super effective, it still does less damage than the Sludge Wave would have done against our Charjabug. So I think that was a better play. And now it's actually still going to be a very close matchup because they have their own Duggersby. I am like really hoping for a nerf here that could drop basically of the attack with Scorching Sands. That's what we kind of need here in this scenario. Let's see if this is going to work out. We get the attack drop. That is going to be huge because now we can take some hits, but it's still not over. We see here they don't do that much damage anymore, which is cool. I'm gonna go for the Fire Punch, which is a bit risky. But yeah, we have to see if we can still win this battle here. They let the move go through as well, which is kind of annoying. And I'm gonna use a shield here. I kind of have to use a shield. They're not in range, so I can farm them down with my Charjabug. And I can go for the Fire Punch now. Would knock them out if they're going to let the move go through, which would be ideal for us. They decide to go for that, and we have now our Charjabug in the back. And I wonder if they're going to play this one out even. And they decide to stay in here. Yeah, they play this out. And we go for the Exeter. Again, why not Crunch? Crunch is a debuff chance. But they have 2 shields, and I kind of need to get rid of the shields first, even if we get them later on into a range where we can go for the Fire Punch against them. It's going to be better for us. But yeah, as you'll see here, we're going to have the Exeter coming through again. Are we going to be able to win the battle for ourselves? Let's see. You're going to have the shield coming up. We're going to be able to go for another Exeter. And this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Crunch, I was hoping for more, but I do think that this Pokemon with Crunch has more play in this meta anyway, so hopefully this is going to be a team that he can run as well. I climbed with this team, as you saw as well here. You saw actually every battle that I did with this team. And that's going to be it for today. See you then. Bye-bye.